Hey, kindergartners, it's Mr. Marshall at Stony Lane again. I hope you're having a great day. So, I'm here today because I heard that you and your teacher are going to be working on a new kind of writing. And this is the kind of writing that's called nonfiction. It's also called information writing. But you know what it really is? Come close and I'll tell you. Ready? This is the kind of writing that sometimes we call teaching books. Did you ever hear of that? Teaching books are books that people read when they want to learn about something. And you're going to be writing a teaching book. Did you know that? So, the first thing you have to do is figure out, what is your teaching book going to be about? You have to think about, what do you know a lot about that you know enough that you can teach it? Okay? So, what we want to do is we want to think about what that can be, because that's different for you, and it's different for me, it's different for everybody. So, what we have to do is we want to think about, what do we already know a lot about that we could talk a lot about or write a lot about that maybe we could teach someone about. So, here's what we're going to do. I have a list here and it says things I know a lot about. Things I know a lot about. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and think of different things that I know a lot about. So, let's see. What's something that I know a lot about? Well, I know a lot about, let's see, I know a lot about, I know a lot about presidents, you know, and because there's been lots of famous presidents, and I love reading about presidents and thinking about them. So I'm going to put that there. And maybe you know a lot about presidents too, or maybe you don't. Maybe you don't, and that's okay, because I've done a lot of reading about it, and maybe you haven't. What's something else I know a lot about? I know a lot about elephants. I do. I really know a lot about elephants because I think they're a fun animal. And so I've watched TV shows about elephants, and I've read books about elephants. So I know a lot about elephants. What else do I know a lot about? I know a lot about being a teacher because I'm a principal, but I was a teacher for a very long time. And one of my favorite things to do is to go into classrooms and teach kids. So I know a lot about teaching. Do you see? You see, I'm adding to my list. I just thought of another thing. Sometimes it comes to you just like that. I know a lot about, I know a lot about Stony Lane. That's my school. I know a lot about Stony Lane because I know all about the teachers and all about the kids, and I know about what we do here and what the school looks like. Okay, let's see if I can think of one more thing. What else do I know a lot about? I know a lot about, I know a lot about kickball because that's like my favorite game to play at recess. So I could probably write a whole book all about kickball. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm trying to think of things that I know a lot about, enough that I think I could write a teaching book about it and maybe help others learn about it. Okay, so here's my list. These are just ideas. I haven't written a book yet about any of these, but I know that I could write about one of these. My next job is going to be to choose one of these. So why don't you do this? And maybe your teacher will give you paper that looks like this, or it looks like something else. But the thinking that we're doing is we're trying to name stuff that we know a lot about. Okay, so why don't you try that? And that's the first step toward writing a teaching book. Okay, try that out, and I'll see you next time.